Hello everybody and welcome back to the Curse of the Dead Gods. Hope you're doing well today. And today we will be moving on to the next level of the temple. So on our last one we did the final battle where we went to the tomb of the dead gods and defeated the champion of the god of death, Clovis Perdu. And from there it unlocked another stage of levels for us to go through. And these are the hard explorations, so everything is more difficult. All damage taken is increased. Healing rooms are rarer. Enemies and traps have increased power and the elite enemies attack faster. So the overall experience is just a little bit harder. So I changed up some of my blessings. I am still keeping the Favor of Sakal because I like the gold and perception at the start. It's just really nice. It works well for me. It feels nice. I did get rid of the agility one and the trap damage, though the traps, that could be pretty helpful in the hard exploration, I think. I've never actually really tried it, but maybe I will in one of these next attempts. But I took the Divine Perception and Serpent's Bounty, and what that's going to do for me, Divine Perception increases the chance of gear that's dropped to be of a higher quality, so it could be better. And then the Serpent's Bounty makes the non-optional bosses that I fight, you know, champions, avatars, whatever they are, they drop 5 pieces of gear instead of the normal 2. So we're going to get a lot of stuff from them. Now, those two together, I found that when I defeat one of those non-optional guys, drop a lot of stuff that's pretty good. And even if I'm not using all of it, they tend to offer up for a lot of goodies. So I've offered them before where I get bunches, like I finish one of those champions or an avatar, and then I'm getting, you know, increase to my dexterity, my perception, 1,000 gold. Like, I'm getting a lot of stuff for defeating them. So I'm hoping this is going to really pay off. We're going to go with this. So we got a fire sword, which is going to do the fire attacks only on the charge attacks or the finisher. It scales damage for constitution, which we're not necessarily building our constitution. If we start getting it up higher, that'll be cool. And it gets more damage for having a whip. We have a whip. The charge attacks will weaken the enemies. It does extra damage for our constitution, but it also has a chance to inflict poison. So we can really combo in with the fire and poison combo. So we're going to go with that. It's a pretty solid choice. And now we're going to start with the path to cruelty. So this is the Jaguar one. It is honestly, I would say, the easiest. You know, it's the Jaguar temple is just, it was made first. It was made to be the first thing you experience as a new player, so it's just a little bit simpler. Now when we go through this is only the Jaguar temple. So that last one where it included all 3 of the different gods and you fought each of the different avatars, this one we're only going to fight the Jaguar avatar, and we have to defeat each of the champions in between the layers. So let's get going. We already got 1,000 gold. We could go for the unknown into 2 attributes, and then, because there's 2 attributes, right? If we get constitution off of that, that's going to increase damage on both of our weapons while also giving us health. And then, you know, there's just always the extra stats that come with it too, even if it doesn't increase our constitution, because dexterity is still going to increase our damage. Perception is going to help with all the stuff that we find. Alright, let's rock it. Lighting it up. And we're starting with one of these. Okay. I don't know that I was ready to do one of these. Okay. Don't mess it up. Charge attack in, followed by whip. Hit both of them, moving away. Dodge out of that, playing it safe. Whip attack out. Keeping distance. Charge attack in, whip. Oop, dodge away from him. We're going to get rid of this blood dude. Now we only got to deal with him. Charged, secondary, and we did it. Honestly, probably the best thing to get this right off the bat. Check out this first. 2 constitution, and we get increased greed timer. This is a barbed whip. It's not really any better than ours. It has 1 more upgrade level, but we'll get rid of it. Then we have a cursed weapon. So these are pretty cool. These are pretty cool. Greater range. I would like to try them. I really would. And secondary weapon affixes are doubled. So if you have, so this would be 2% base damage for each point of constitution and a 40% chance to do poison. So it would be pretty strong. And depending on what we had going on, that double affix could make a huge difference. I've gotten them before where it's way later in the game. I have my primary weapons getting a ton of scaling from dexterity. It's doing a bunch of chance for like lightning and poison damage. It can stack up really heavy, but I don't know that I actually want this, unfortunately. So I guess we're just going to remove some more corruption. And we got 400 gold out of it in addition to a relic, constitution, and yeah, that's about it. We'll move on and we'll go to the some attributes. And something, you know, having just done the previous setup where we go in for the final battle, I got kind of used to the doors doing 30 corruption, and now we're back to only 20 corruption for each door. So even though the dungeon is technically more challenging, we actually have less corruption to worry about. At the same time, because we don't have champion rooms, we can't necessarily get rid of our curses and corruption by choice if we choose the right route. Going through, dodging traps. I'm going to go over here for gold. There's probably... Oops. There we are. Yeah, there's always a little Jaguar head thing right there. Charge in, followed with a whip. Parry, dodge, whip, offhand, hit him again, stagger him, dodge around, one, and sword. Ooh, kind of close. I almost messed that up pretty badly. Extra critical damage, 45% is quite a bit, so it's going to be good for our sword combo finishers as well as the whip combo finishers. And we're going to go ahead and increase both of these. So it's going to get us more treasure find over the course of the dungeon or the temple, and then we're starting to get a little bit extra scaling and damage for our weapons. Probably after we go through this next attribute room, we're going to move to the right and go for a weapon upgrade and see about upgrading our sword and whip. Maybe we'll get a different effect on them that will work pretty nicely for us. I'm going to hit this trap. No, I'm not. Kind of messed up. I got myself put in that corner by that big dude. That really messed me up. And now those traps are broken. Kind of a bummer. Whip in. There we go. Dodge, dodge. Move around him. 1, 2. We should have lured him over to break open that wall. Really, all the... Holy cow, there's a bunch of walls. That's kind of a bummer. Dodging through. Now, something I kind of wanted to talk about was a little bit with some of the lore stuff, right? So in the last video, we defeated the champion of the god of death, Clovis Perdu, right? And it's a pretty interesting name considering everybody else that we fought here, right? You know, we're talking about Zaktaka, you know, Moloch Paul, all these other names that fit the design, the like ethnicity, the culture of the place we're in. And then we got Clovis Perdu. Like, where did he come from? What's the deal there, you know? Now, if you start going into the codex, and if you'd been reading it before getting to that guy, it would maybe make a little bit of sense. So, reading through the journal, there are a couple names that are adding in some of these, like, lore entries and notes and stuff. And one of them is a woman named Marie Clotilde Perdu. And she talks about how she's looking for her brother. Because he told her at one point that he had a way to redeem their family, get vengeance on those who had wronged them, all those kinds of things. And then he left or something, disappeared. And she came out here looking for him. And she had been receiving messages from him. Occasionally the enemies would come up to her and say they had a message from her brother. And that's Clovis Perdu, the champion of the god of the dead now. And it actually... Let me change that. That's a different thing, right? The god of the dead is different from the god of death. Because the god of the dead would sort of imply that he is a god of those who are dead. Whereas a god of death is a god over the thing death, the action, the state of dying, which is a pretty different, you know, it's a significant difference between the two of them, I would say. But that's who her brother is now. That's where he's now fallen into. And she seems to be wandering around the temple as well. But she refuses to fight her brother, so she doesn't seem to be wanting to defeat him and actually get out of there. She just wants to save him. Get ready to dodge. There we go. So there is a chance. I wonder if we're going to actually see her. That would be kind of neat. And in addition to her, there's actually two other names that pop up. There is Pablo Cordoba, who seemed to have been talking with Quetzalcoatl, or not Quetzalcoatl, I can't remember his name now. Let's find out. Let me check it. So there's Mary Clotilde Pardue, Pablo Cordoba, Jebet-Zalok. So he seemed to be talking with the god of the dead. And in addition, there is Belinda Davenport. So he actually seemed to be talking with the god of the dead, like having conversations with him. And in one of the journal entries, or the codex things, it very well implies that the god of the dead let him go. He let him leave. Let's upgrade. Because that would be kind of nice to help with the elites, champions, and bosses. This gets us healing. I think I'm going to upgrade this. We're going to eat a bunch of corruption for it, but you know, it's bound to happen. But this guy, Pablo Cordoba, it seemed as though Jebet-Zalok allowed him to leave, or gave him the option to leave. I don't know that he necessarily took up the offer. And he also implied, shield by the light, we deal more damage in darkness. That's not going to work too well for us, considering that we have a fire sword. But Cordoba, he seemed to say that most people, when they come here, they are seeking things, seeking power, treasures, something like that. But then there are others who are sort of the ill fortune, like himself. They sort of just ended up there almost. Like, they didn't necessarily try to get there. And so now he is stuck, unable to leave. And perhaps that's why Jebet-Zalok allowed him to leave. It's because he took pity on him. There are a couple of injuries that do make it seem as though the god of the dead does experience pity and mercy in a sort of twisted way. You can see it with the entries talking about the experimented infants, those lightning babies, because it seemed as though they, like, it mentions that they are one of the few things that he took pity on, because they were not willing experiments. They were offered up without consent, because they were, you know, they were like fetuses. They were not unborn children. And then there was a third figure, Davenport, and all of her entries talk about, what do I want to do? Attributes into, shoot. Alright, so I'm tempted because I kind of want to get this one and just use gold, and then I get more perception so I can find more stuff. But I also kind of want to get this because it's more fire damage, also more dexterity, so more damage. It's just going to be another blood offering, so I'm going to get another curse. I think I'll do it. But this Belinda Davenport, all of her things are like conversations with the dead. So I don't know if she is someone else who came here and then spoke with the dead, like if she was some kind of medium or something of that nature, and that's how she's getting a bunch of her like lore entries and knowledge. I'd be kind of curious to know. And moving up, here we go. Charge attack in, whip. Charge attack in, dodge. 1, 2. Oh, ooh, that barely whipped by. Good. Yeah, be curious to know what the thing is. And tying in with each of those names, right? We got Clovis Perdue. his sister Marie Clotilde Perdue. We've also got this dude, Pablo Cordoba, and then Belinda Davenport. Clovis is a champion of the God of the Dead, right? And as we've gone through the temple, we've encountered champions for each of the different gods, right? And then there's an avatar. So we battled a champion, not the avatar, not the God of the Dead. So in these later stages of the temple, are we going to fight additional champions of the God of the Dead? And then it's gonna like finish with the avatar or the actual God of the Dead? Like what are we gonna find at the end, you know? Is Cordoba, is he going to be another champion? You know, he seemed to have a sort of amicable relationship with Jabet Salak, so maybe he's gonna be our second like dead champion. And then what about Belinda? Like, is she just kind of a name? And does Marie come into play somewhere, or is she just kind of like a nameless figure who's like out here in the temple somewhere, dodging? Oops, one parry. Damn. So we'll see when we get further. I'm pretty curious to see what we find at the very end. And it might be worth noting, that the God of the Dead was interested in our character, who's called a pretender. I don't know exactly why we're called a pretender, like why that's the term for our character. What are we pretending to get? We like a pretending challenger? Like what is it? What am I pretending here? But when we defeated Clovis, he seemed to want us and to possess us, make a new champion of the God of the Dead. So hopefully that's not going to be our ending. Like, with any luck, we can continue to kind of hold him off. Okay. So we're going to take this Titan Slayer. It's got a chance to do poison damage, which is kind of nice. It deals critical damage as well. We'll be able to break open walls. Extra perception. We're pretty full on relics already. But we could take even more fire damage for a sword. The extra damage on poison attacks will be pretty nice if we are able to pull off the poison damage on our whip. What's this one do? We're gonna offer that for gold, I think. 6 perception is pretty nice as well to keep us like finding things. I would almost consider swapping out this, by having an extra greed counter is kind of nice too. We'll swap it. And then this one, we could get rid of the critical damage and keep this for even more poison damage. But the critical damage more consistent than the poison damage. So maybe we'll just swap that out, get a slight increase. Let's do, we could go attributes, event chest, followed by double gold, and then maybe weapon attributes. Yeah, seems pretty reasonable. Sun's Galleries. Now I haven't unlocked, like over the course of some of my profiles, I have more and less unlocked most, if not kind of all, of the different codex entries. But there's a few I haven't actually gotten on this playthrough. So I'll have to get them unlocked to like double check what they say. We're gonna offer that. But the temple we're in right now, it had a different name, or kind of still has it, where it's called the Halls of Wonder, or maybe more accurately now the Halls of Pain. And there were a people called the Chatak, and they, I think it either says they are or just kind of implies it's them. Implies that they built this as a place to do commerce with the gods of wonder, who seem to later become the gods of pain. And that's, right, the Jaguar, Yachts, and Sakal. Kind of forgot the Jaguar's name, actually. It's like Kamak? Shit, forgot. But it was built as a place to do commerce between them, like a bridge between the two places. So they made this place, and then we've got these altars, right? And then you come to these altars and you trade with them. You give them offerings of gold, and then, or blood, you know, got blood for the blood god and all that, right? We're gonna give up blood for this. And so that's what they did. They came in supplication, offering things as well as their worship in order to get boons. And the different gods seem to have different blessings that they primarily bestowed. Dark flames on braziers. You know, Tamok, he would offer blessings of invulnerability, ferocity. Yachts gave like omnipotence, power, lethality. Whereas Sakal would give omniscience, knowledge, transmutation, those kinds of things. But ultimately, it seemed like a lot of these blessings kind of just became curses, or over time, like as the gods became twisted, they became more of a curse as well. And it could have just been like less that the gods directly became corrupted and that the people became corrupted, and then also, you know, changed the gods with their own change. You know, it's a little unclear right now. But then at some point, the god of the dead shows up, and he seemed to come in and literally conquer the halls, because there's a bunch of entries that mention how he defeated the followers of the gods of wonder. He defeated their creations, you know, and defeated each of the avatars, defeated each of the gods. And specifically, like if we looked at like our whip, that fire whip we got from the twins, it specifically mentioned how he defeated Tamok and then caged his fury in that whip. So he rolled along and literally kicked ass and took over. We're going to play it pretty carefully, you know, as always, staying away from all that. Charge attack in, followed by the whip. Get ready to dodge that laser. Hit him. Whack. Moving away, keeping distance. We're going to go get that blood dude, because he's going to keep healing things, and it's going to make it really difficult to actually win. Alright, we got poison on a bunch of dudes, so that's going to do well. We're going to create some distance again. He's going to spin at us. We're going to follow with a charge whip and then finish her. Nice and clean. Okay. Increase weakness effects. Meh. Increase healing effects. We could do that instead of this one. Okay. Alright. So we can guarantee poison damage. However, and it's already one stage more upgraded, but it doesn't do the extra damage against elites, champions, and bosses. So we're going to offer that, get rid of corruption. We will take this, and then we've got this sword. Abnegation, Jibet Solok's blade. Finishers and charge attacks interrupt them. Right. The secondary weapons affixes are doubled, and we take less damage. Or no, we do take more damage. That makes more sense. There's always a downside to them. Alright, the sword is tempting. And actually, in a way, I kind of wish I'd kept the poison whip. Because that poison, the guaranteed poison was a cursed weapon. It stacks up really fast. I think I will take it, actually. We're going to take it. We don't get the fire combo, but we get interrupts. And now we have a much higher chance of poison, which is going to go well into this. And it's going to do a lot more damage on elites, champions, bosses, and it scales even higher. Look at that damage, 70. And then once we get the poison, the sword attacks are going to be stacking up the poison damage as well. So I think that's a pretty solid combo we got. We do not need healing, so we're just going to go for some gold. Okay, moving on. Our dude, our guy, the pretender, he seemed like he was kind of like an explorer or like an archaeologist. Like he talks about how, like, there's an entry that mentions he's like, he was just looking for old runes and stuff or something. And and then he got stuck in this place. So he's like literally just kind of like here. Oh, I did not want to do that. Oh, that sucks. Notice how much damage that did. 280 damage from a single hit. It really does add a lot more damage in this mode. Now, that being said, I think I was in the darkness, and I had that weapon on, which increases it as well. So, yeah, you know, that's kind of to be expected. Charge attack in, followed by whip. Parry. 1, 2. Charge attack, whip, whip, and then we're going to finish him. Is it finishers and charge attacks? Okay. Corruption and more gold. More damage thanks to how much gold we have. You know, I am collecting a lot of gold right now. Nah, I'm just gonna heal up. We'll just go ahead and get ourselves topped up to play it safe. We're gonna charge attack through, followed by the whip. That worked out pretty nicely. Charge attack in, followed by the whip. Parry. Oh, fireball got me. He's gonna burn. Gets that. I didn't get that gold. Bummer. Oh well. Moving on. It's more gold. Alrighty. I did get, so I have defeated the Jaguar avatar enough times that, oh, that's not gonna work now. Bummer. Wait, I can break it. I defeated the Jaguar avatar enough that I got the codex entry for him. I still have to do the eagle and serpent like 2 more times each, but the way the entry made it seem is that that dark avatar that we fight, that was Tamok's body, and Jaguar is like possessing it when we fight him, or like when we fight that dark avatar, that is the god of the dead possessing the body of Tamok, which is pretty sick. Huh? I mean, it makes sense when you look at him. He's got like his bowels are like removed. You can kind of see that he's got his heart in there, but like on the whole, he's just a chunky dark remain. And it makes sense for a lot of the, I didn't get around that fast enough. It makes sense with a lot of the entries about the other things we fight in here. So the different, like, creatures that we fight in here, right? There are the Death Wives, those Lurker guys, those Headless Warriors. Those are the big dudes we fight here. Moving around, dodging around that. Here we go. What's in here? Gold. Many of those things were pretty gnarly, twisted creations before Jaguar showed up. But a great many of them, he then came along afterwards and twisted and made into other things, right? Like, wow, that was really important. He twisted them up even more. And that seemed to be like something he does, which makes sense when you look at, like, you know, the Dark Avatar. Like, that's just what he does. He came in and then changed them up, and he left some things, and he took mercy on a couple different things, like, you know, the lightning babies. More critical damage and constitution. So yeah, we'll lose out on some constitution, or we'll lose out on some critical damage to get a little bit of constitution. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting, you know. He seems to have a personality of, like, what he likes and what he finds amusing. For example, the little poison slug things, he's mostly left alone because he seems to find them entertaining, I guess. Dodging. Dodging. Charge attack in. Whip. Whip again. But then you got other ones where he doesn't necessarily, like, change anything about them. Like, there's those big stone guys you fight in the Eagle Temple, right? And they kind of do that stance thing where they heal up when they're at low health. Those, I guess he didn't really change much, but he doesn't like them. Because they're basically machines. Like, they're bodies that were basically transmuted into stone and powered with light. They're golems, but made out of people. So he doesn't like them because they're not alive, and they're also not dead. Like, they just are inanimate, right? And he's the god of death. He likes death. He likes life and things that die. And those things are not really either anymore. So he doesn't really like them. Ooh, look at that. Jaguar spine. Not interested. I'm really not interested in any of these weapons. I mean, I guess I could take that, but I'm not particularly feeling it. We could re-roll it, see if there's a new two-handed weapon. No. That's pretty solid, considering we've got a relic to increase poison damage. If that does poison, it deals more damage to people who are poisoned. So, and it's scaling with our constitution a little bit. So, I think we'll take it. We can do a gold offering because we have a bunch of gold. And let's get attributes. Moving on. Back bow. There's a bunch of explosions waiting to happen. All right, we're gonna hit that. We're gonna hit this and then move away. Boom, boom. Oh, I couldn't move out in time. Oh, that was not worth it. Getting some corruption, more gold here. We're just gonna heal up a little bit right there. We're kind of taking a lot of corruption and curses here. We're gonna have to be pretty careful as we move into the third level. 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2. Alright, charge in. Okay, I'm kind of low on stamina. Get rid of him. 1, 2, 3. Hooray. Poison attacks, we're gonna offer that up. Get rid of corruption. Poison attacks, we're gonna offer that up for gold. We're gonna charge whip to pull that thing in and interrupt them as well. And then he's gonna die. Same thing with that dude. Those are called dead eyes, so they seem to be constructs of Jaguar and like how he watches things. We're gonna do, yeah, you know, we're gonna do both of them, health and damage, and then with the whip, it's gonna scale damage doubly so. Look at that damage. Plus 42, it's so good. Oh, hold on. Stop and marvel at your own mortality. I'm death's toll in consequence. My name is abnegation. Interesting. Interrupt and die. Huh. So actually, I will say this. Abnegation is Jaguar's blade. So this is maybe the sword that he used, right? So all those Jaguar weapons, I wonder if those were his armaments that he used to conquer the Halls of Wonder. But there's also, some of it kind of made me think like they were made from his body as well. So like, as though he isn't, like, he's dead as well in a way. Please trigger the poison. Nope. Okay. I'd really like to get the poison triggered, so then when we go in with the sword, we start stacking it up. Just like that. Move out of that. Good. Dodge. Power attack. Offhand whip. 1, 2, 3. Charge attack. Whip offhand. 1, 2, 3. Move away. 1, 2. Parry. Oh, parry. Keep building up the poison. Get away. Get away. Ah, this is a bummer. 1, 2, 3. Whap. 1. Whip. Move away. Parry. There we go. Took some damage there at the end. A little bit unfortunate with Fire Seed and then this flurry of attacks right there at the end. But with some luck, I've increased radius. Burn with a dark flame. Man, I kind of want to get rid of this one because I think it's stacking up a lot of corruption on us. But with some luck here, because we got 5 items to offer up, we should be able to get some good rewards back for offering them. So extra gold, a dexterity boost. That's a heal. Killing a burning enemy. We don't do burning anymore, which is kind of a bummer. So we can get gold and then get rid of corruption. Yeah, so gold and a heal. So yeah, see, like, look at that. Look how much stuff we got for the offering. We got stat increase, a whole bunch of gold. reduced our corruption a little bit. So we're gonna go probably go gold again into relic attributes, and then stat increase, double attributes. Seems like the way to go. We're pretty solid on what our weapons are. I don't care to change them at all. I'm not even using my two-handed one. I forget that I even have it. Check the time for a second. Whoop! That was almost really unfortunate. We're gonna go this way. We're gonna move quickly because this is gonna explode and cause a lot of damage. We've got extra radius on those barrels as well. Ooh, it was close. Trigger this, hit him. We're gonna trigger this one as well. It's gonna hit that dude. Spin, offhand whip. Oh, it came out faster. Gotta remember that it does that. Parry, charge in to interrupt both of them. Finisher to interrupt. Parry. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1 dodge. Whip to interrupt. And finish him. We're going to use a bomb to open that wall. What do we got? Jaguar heads. Boom, 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 boom. Woo. Alright. Keep it moving. We do want to be looking for some more healing, since I've taken a bit of damage in that last fight, as well as there in that last room as well. Avoiding these things. We're going to throw some bombs just to create some distance for a moment. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I messed it up. Okay. There we go. Alright. I took a couple hits there that were more than a little unfortunate. But I guess that's what it is. See what comes out of there and if we can offer it up for goodies. More Constitution. I could have maybe used extra damage on weakened guys because our whip does weaken them with a charge attack, so maybe it would have been worth it. I don't know. Let's go here. We're getting another curse. Hopefully it's nothing dire. Enemies killed while burning explode. Alright, well, we don't really do any burning, so it's not necessarily going to do anything to or for us. Let's try and get some poison on these guys. Ooh, boy. Dodging around. We're going to charge attack through, offhand whip. Dodge away, charge attack, offhand whip. 1, 2. Offer it for perception. Ooh. More gold. And up this way. One of the relics is really good, and I don't know if I've touched on it in one of the previous runs early on in this campaign, playthrough, whatever you want to call it. There's a relic that increases how much you get when you do the offerings. It's pretty nice, especially with this blessing setup we have. Like, if you can have that relic so you're getting like 60% more, 100% more for offering up these like items, and you get 5 items from one of the like bosses, you can get a ton back from doing that. We have a ton of divine favors, so we're probably going to re-roll these. I don't have fire attacks, which actually I just realized we have 2 fire attack things that are useless now. This could be pretty good considering we still got several rooms to go through. So I think I'll take that and trade out my perception. Yeah. Alright, get ready to roll away. I just realized I still had those 2 fire friggin' relics. Man. Who knows what else I could have been pulling off without those. Charge attack to interrupt, follow, and then poison or offhand, whatever, cursed weapon. Big heal off of that. Charge, whip. We're gonna interrupt him, parry. Charge, offhand, 1, 2, nothing. Parry. Oh, nope. And he's gone. Excellent. Yeah, let's move on. Going to attributes. I'd have to imagine, right? So if the God of the Dead, he came in, conquered the halls. Oops, I did not parry that like I thought I was. Whoop. He came in and conquered them. I can't help but feel like he probably did Tamox, the Jaguar Temple, first, you know. It just seems like the natural progression, right? Do more critical damage, but we also get perception. It's better than this one. We'll trade it out for this. We'll lose some dexterity, but that's going to be okay. We didn't necessarily... We could have offered it up to heal, but if we're going to be getting healing going through the door out of this place, there's not really like a super big need to, you know? Dodge through, charge attack, offhand whip. 1, 2, 3, building up poison on him. Parried that, which is good. I did not parry that, which is bad. 1, 2, 3, parry. 1, 2, 3, interrupt, dodge, charge attack, whip, and 274 damage. So much damage. Maybe I need to be doing that more. I need to be catching him with the charge attack and then the finisher. Because we're doing a bunch more critical damage, it's weakening them. Yeah, that's what we need to be doing. Oops. Okay. Whoop. Whoop. Okay. Whoop. Charge attack. Finish up. Charge attack. Finish him. Charge attack. Finish him both. God, why haven't I been doing that before, dude? What is wrong with me? Oh, God. Alright. Stat increase, perception, and health. Might just do the health right now. I'm saving my gold for something later. I already forgot what, but it's fine. Weapon upgrade, that's what I'm waiting for, followed by 2 more stat increases. So we'll upgrade that whip some more. Contacts are sliding all over my eyeballs, it feels like. Charge attack and finish. Interrupt this dude. Keep an eye on the dudes in the back. Dodging through, except, you know, I dodged right into that. And we're going to be getting our 4th curse. We should be fine, though, on not getting the final curse. Interrupt him. Parry, we didn't get the parry. Charge, offhand. Good. Offer it up. Good. I actually got it right that time. Dodging away, charge attack to interrupt. Lots of damage. There we go. Get ready, charge attack to interrupt. Whoop, whoop. Charge attack to interrupt again. Offhand whip. Distance, parry. I missed both of those, which is horrible. He was an elite, so his attacks came out faster, and I wasn't ready for it. Timing was off. Woolly, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we'll upgrade that. Elites, champions, and bosses. I definitely think the whip is, I don't know, I'll have to see how it does with the Jaguar. Because in my head, no longer take extra damage while standing in darkness. That's pretty nice, actually. Because the whip is doing a bunch more damage to champions, elites, etc. Blah, blah, blah. So, in my head, it should be, you know, natural choice at fighting the boss. Get rid of that. However, if I can get the poison on him, there's a part of me that just wants to do the sword because it's cursed and I can keep building the poison really easily. But maybe that's not the right call. I don't know. Because then you just do damage like that. I mean, it's so much damage. Ah, I fucked it up. Dang it. Moving on. Ooh, didn't save my stamina. It's hard to see. God dang it. Woo. Silly, silly me. Alright, we got 1,200 gold cost for that. We'll do another damage increase, and then maybe I'll just do the question mark one. Like, I could possibly get another stat increase with gold. However, it's unsure whether or not I'll actually get enough gold to do that. That was poorly done on my part. God damn it. You stupid mofo. Alright. We're just gonna move on. We'll do unknown. Let's do that. See what we get. Ah. Sorry. Stretching out my arm. Is this, what is this room? Looks different. It's weird because everything's like dark. Oh, is this an event one? Alright. Hooray for me, I guess. I wonder if I could have left without like actually doing it. I don't really need the gold. Like, what's it gonna do for me? Oh, I messed up the parry. God dang it. Oh, I'm gonna get the final curse. Oh no. That's a problem. If I need something to remove my curse. I need something to remove corruption. Please drop something to remove my corruption. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, this last fight just got a lot harder. Fuck. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Dang it. We're gonna watch this one. I don't... Jibetsalok's truth. Yeah, his truth, yeah. Immortality is the greatest of all curses, and death is its cure. Health drops over time until it reaches 1 HP. Interesting thing about the name of this curse, right? His truth. In one of the codex entries, Cordoba is talking to Jibetsalok, and he reveals a truth to Cordoba that he will die. Like, not even like in no amount of power that Cordoba could gain in this place will save him from the truth that he will die. So, interesting, huh? Health drops over time until it reaches 1 HP, and then I guess it doesn't drop anymore from there. How fast does it drop? That's you know, it's a bit of a, it's just chunking a little bit. Dodging that. We do not need to take any extra damage. Okay, that's a bit of, that's good. Boom. 1, 2. 1, 2. Keep the stamina to dodge. Dodging away. Charge attack in. We're gonna lose the stamina here, but that's okay. Let's see what he's got. 1. Dodge away from that. Hit. Hit. Charge attack to interrupt and deal more poison. 1. Oh. Oh god, that's not what I want. Dodging. Charge. Get away out of that fire. Is he gonna fire breath? Nope. Swinging. Oh, he's doing fire breath. Creating distance. Whoop. Whoop. Charge attack, followed by a second. He's got poison on him, so we're gonna build that up a little bit. We made it out. That would have been death. Dodging. There we go. 1. Oh, missed it. That would have been nice to get that extra poison on him. Get ready to charge attack. We got poison. Charge attack in. Okay, good. He's gonna fire breath, so we're gonna create some distance moves in between. Get ready to dodge. Whoop. Charge attack. 1, 2. One more. There, we did it. Whew. Even with the final curse. That was a pretty good run. That was a pretty good run. I liked it. Hey, relief. You're right. I am relieved. We got a lot of crystal skulls, a lot of jade rings for that, so that's always pretty good. Cool. So, 28 minutes. Pretty decent. I mean, gold, the Death Wives, yeah, I did get caught by a lot of their like little dark orb spell things. Good amount of health restored thanks to that relic at the end. It definitely kind of carried me through a bit. But that whip, I mean, it was a starting whip. It did lots of work. Did a lot of damage. That poison was great. The critical damage as well as the weakened effect on the charged. Really good. And that's part of why I like to level up my altars kind of early. is you can get some good weapons right off the bat. Then you don't have to worry about getting any more weapons at all in the run. And you can put your gold towards anything else. So, yeah, good run, good run. Only took one try, which is fantastic. I'm sure it will probably take me like 20 to get through the Path of Hubris. And Blood Emblem. Yep, 2 more to get to the next stage. And there we are. Well, cool. Hope you all enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. And hope to see you on the next one when we take on the Path to the Eagle, which I'm not looking forward to, but we'll see. You know, it is what it is. Take care, everybody.